All right, we're going to come back and do the second day of this assignment. And so we're going to make our highlight in this area right here. And we've made this one yellow that blends to Tuscan red on both sides. So in this section right here and in this section, we're going to make it yellow orange. So I'm going to need, these are the colors that I'm going to need. I'm going to need yellow. I'm going to need orange. I'm going to need red. And I'm using I'm going to use the poppy red. I'm going to use poppy red and Tuscan red. Those are the colors that I'm going to use. Let's focus. All right. And I'm going to start with a light layer here. So I'm going to zoom in and see what happens when I get a little bit closer. All right. And let's focus. All right. So I'm going to do a light layer of yellow. Light layer, light layer, light layer, light layer, all over. And then on top of it, I'm going to do a light layer of orange. Once again, this is going to be yellow-orange, so I'm going to be mixing a lot of yellow and orange together. But orange is a lot darker than yellow, so I'm going to be using less orange and more yellow on this. You'll see. All right, so it's a light layer of orange. And if you think back to that other worksheet that we did, I'm doing this at about a level 1 or 2 of the pressure that I'm using. All right, then I'm going to get my poppy red. I'm going to come in from the sides and ease up off the pressure as I go towards the middle. I want to keep this away from the middle. I still want my middle to be yellow-orange. All right, and do the same thing from the other side. I come in from the outside in. And then I'm going to use Tuscan red on the outside. And I'm just easing up off my pressure as I get closer to the middle. In fact, with this Tuscan red, I'm only going on the outside. So just a little bit of Tuscan red. All right, then for my second layer, I'm going to start over again, do the exact same thing that I did before. The only difference is I'm using a heavier pressure of my color. So I'm using a medium pressure of yellow over the whole thing. And if you think back to the worksheet, I'm working at about a 4 or 5 level of pressure on this. So I'm giving a medium pressure. I'm pushing down a little bit, but not a lot. All right. And with this, I'm only going to do another light layer. So I am hardly pushing on this at all. This is like a level 1 or a 2 of my pressure. Hardly touching it. And also, though, I'm going to push down a little bit heavier on this outside and ease up off the pressure as I come in. And then with the poppy red, giving it a medium pressure and easing up off the pressure as I come in. And this, I'm going to give it a medium pressure as I come in. And then this Tuscan red is just for the outsides. All right, now for the final layer, I'm pushing down really hard on my yellow. I'm bearing down, pushing hard against the paper, pushing hard with my pencil against the table. Pushing hard, coloring all this in. I don't want any white of the paper showing through the colored pencil. It should be like a solid color, no white showing. And then I'm going to do a light layer of orange on top of this. In fact, I'm doing this at about a 2 or a 3 level pressure. And then I'm going to come in and I'll make my orange go a little bit darker on the sides, a little bit more orange on the sides. Tuscan red. No, this isn't Tuscan red. It's poppy red. All right, poppy red, poppy red. And then Tuscan red on the outside. All right, and then I'm going to do a final heavy layer of yellow over the whole thing. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at, is there much of a difference between this and that? And so the answer is, yeah, there's enough of a difference that it still looks like they're related. It still looks like they are next to each other on the color wheel. And there's a nice blend from light to dark. All right, I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to make this a yellow orange. And since I just described how to do this up here, I'm going to speed up the camera for this one. Okay, so I finished that one, and then the next on the next two stripes that we're going to do right here and right here is going to be orange. All right, now we're going to do this with orange. So I'm going to put down a light layer of orange. And I'm going to use poppy red. Poppy red is going to come in from the outsides, and I'm not going to let it touch the middle. All right. So poppy red just fades into the middle without going into the middle. So I have to ease up off the pressure as I go towards the center. And then my Tuscan red comes in on the outside. Tuscan red. All right. Then I'll do a second layer of orange. This time I'm pushing down a little bit heavier. I'm pushing down harder on the outsides. All right, there's orange. And then poppy red. Pushing down harder out here, easing up off the pressure as I go towards the middle. And then Tuscan red gives me the darkness on the outside. And I am going to finish this up with a yellow, a heavy layer of yellow on this. All right. Even though it's orange, but that gives me that golden kind of sunsetty look. All right. Now, I've just done this up here for you guys. So I'm going to do the same thing down here. I'm going to speed up the camera. All right, I have finished my yellows. And so let's take a look and see what we got here. All right, we have this big area of warm colors right here. All right, we're going to finish off the warms with red down here. So we're going to put these pencils away, and I'm going to get crimson red, and I'm going to get violet and indigo blue. Red, violet, and indigo blue. I'm going to sharpen my pencil. All right, since I don't have a red up at the top and I only have, so I'm just going to do one little demo for you for red. So I'm going to start with a light layer of red over my stripe. How about if I turn this upside down? No, that doesn't help. All right. Light layer of red. You know what? Instead of doing purple, I'm going to use Tuscan red. I'm going to make an executive decision right here. So I'm going to use Tuscan red, ease up off the middles, and indigo blue just on the outsides. And I'm also going to add white to this. So I'm going to have white in the middle. All right. And I'm pushing a little bit harder with my red. And I'm easing off the pressure as I go towards that white. Pushing down hard on the outside, easing up off the pressure as I go towards the middle. And with the Tuscan red, just leave that for the outsides. And then the indigo blue, just for the outsides. All right, now with the white, I'm going to go a little bit wider on the white. Now on the red, I am pushing down hard on the red and easing up off the pressure as I go into that white. Pushing down hard on that red, easing up off the pressure as I go into the white. All right, Tuscan red on the outsides. Tuscan red. A little bit of indigo on the vest outside. And a little bit of white in the middle. And now I'm doing a little bit of red in the middle too. And pushing down hard on the outside. All right, so that gives us kind of this red kind of color in there. All right, now we have finished all of our warm colors on this one. Next, we're going to do the warm colors here and here. So we're going to start with the yellow. I get my yellow and orange and poppy red and Tuscan red. All right, now, and this time, instead of going from dark to light to dark, having it dark on both ends, this time, since I want the emphasis to be in this area, I'm going to have it light to dark. So I'm going to choose, see how this yellow is in between these two stripes right here? I'm just going to choose one. So I'm going to choose this one, and that's just going to be a yellow stripe right here. And it's just going to go from yellow on the left to Tuscan red on the right. I'm going to speed this up now. Then on this next one, we're going to make this one yellow-orange and yellow-orange. Since I've already given you the instructions on how to do that up here and here, so I'm not going to narrate over this, but I'll speed it up. The only difference will be it's just going to go from light on the left to dark on the right. so then I'm going to go to orange and orange right here and here. And so since I've already demoed that, I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward through that part. One of the only difference is it's going to be light on the left side and dark on the right side. All right, and then since I don't have, there's no space to put a red up there, I'm just going to put my only red down here. So I'll do that. I'll speed it up for you. Okay, let's take a look and see what we got here. All right, that looks good. And then I'm going to do the whole thing on the other side, and I'm going to do it at once without stopping. So I'm just going to fast forward, or I'm just going to play it or record it in fast speed. Everybody, the period is just about up, and so I think that is a good stopping point for today. All right, that's it for today. And until next time, be a little art factory.